A riddle, a riddle, a riddle. This is not about two old man who pee. This about one man who drag coffin all over the place with she. He turned corruption buster and want we to help he. Who could that be? A riddle, a riddle, a riddle. Find that one too easy. A riddle, a riddle, a riddle. She driving through flood waters for all our we to see. They say she led a kleptocratic government and she thieved out all the money from the treasury. Double whammy, some say Zami. Who on earth could that be? Another hint. Check me out at not 7:30, but 5:30. A riddle, a riddle, a riddle. A riddle, a riddle, a riddle. This is not about two old man who pee. This about one man who drag coffin all over the place with she. He turned corruption buster and want we to help he. Who could that be? A riddle, a riddle, a riddle. Find that one too easy. A riddle, a riddle, a riddle. She driving through flood waters for all our we to see. They say she led a kleptocratic government and she thieved out all the money from the treasury. Double whammy, some say Zami. Who on earth could that be? Another hint. Check me out at not 7:30, but 5:30. A riddle, a riddle, a riddle. A riddle, a riddle, a riddle. This is not about two old man who pee. This about one man who drag coffin all over the place with she. He turned corruption buster and want we to help he. Who could that be? A riddle, a riddle, a riddle. Find that one too easy. A riddle, a riddle, a riddle. She driving through flood waters for all our we to see. They say she led a kleptocratic government and she thieved out all the money from the treasury.
So let's start my introduction again. This is a girl Jen, Sister Jenny, Auntie Jenny, and if you want to get formal mission for Frederick, another edition of We Talk the Thing. People, today is Friday again. The week just keep rolling on and all, but we have thing to do, so we started right. Hi, good afternoon, Roxanne. Thank you. You love my colors. Hi, Christopher. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Yvette. Hi. Oh gosh, I missed some people just now. But thank you all for always coming to stay tuning and love thing till we talk the thing. People share the live because we have to show how these people are not suited for this country. They're not suited to be in governance at all, and how they just lie. And that's the sad thing, you know. You can have a difference of opinion, you could like another party or that, but anytime you have to lie to bring a point across, it's because you don't have a point. So let me start my thing. I certainly pleasure to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. I'll honor my parents, my teachers, my leaders, my elders, and those in authority. I'll be clean and honest in all my thoughts, my words, and my deeds. And I'll strive in everything I do to work together with my fellow men of every creed and race for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of my country. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Miss Angela. Let me start one time with the good news. Hi, Rebecca. Good news. There's always something to celebrate. And while I give that good news, I want to say something at the same time with it. It's unfortunate that I'll have to say this, but I'll have to. Give me a minute. As I tell you, I have to be scrolling down, scrolling, or scroll up, right. It's about the Miss TNT, Miss Universe, Miss Chanel Tongs. She's from the Movan area. And I don't know if some people don't realize that Miss Universe and those beauty contests have moved on. It's not these skinny girls with the flat behind and the little thin legs and them kind of thing again. Yeah? Different body types now. They even taken women who are married, even who have children. The standard of beauty have moved on from what we used to see before. But some people, they can't get that out of the system, however. Miss Janelle Thorns, who is from the Movan area, she would have won the Miss Universe local pageant. So she's in Mexico now representing. And this was in CNC3 News. November the 15th, it says here, Trinidad and Tobago Miss Universe 2024 delegate Janelle Tongs was awarded Miss Congeniality during the preliminary competition. Miss Congeniality award in the competition is usually awarded to the contestant who is seen as friendly, approachable, the whole thing going on, approachable and most kind-hearted amongst the contestants. Speaking at the preliminary of the competition, in a video post on the Miss Universe social media page, Tong said she felt so blessed and honored to be given this award because it's just truly means that I set out what I came here to do, and that is make lasting connections and impressions with girls and the teen, everyone. But honestly, this win is not just my own. It's a win for all of us because we really believe in women empowerment and ensuring that we respect each other's culture, we respect each other's differences, because truly there is more that brings us together than what separates us. In a post by Miss Universe team, they said, "We are thrilled to announce Janelle Tongs as our Miss Congeniality winner. Her kindness and warmth has captured our hearts. Tongs and the local organizers have been facing scrutiny online as pictures and videos surface of the TNT delegate wearing what some considered to be less than flattering clothes in comparison to other contestants. However, no one from the TNT Miss Universe camp has acknowledged the issue. The finals for the 73rd Miss Universe 2024 competition will take place at the Arena CDMX in Mexico City, Mexico, on the 16th of November 2024. So let me show you what Miss Tongs look like. Let me see if I can get a better picture of her. So sorry I didn't get just now. My thing is this. There's nothing wrong and you may not liken the contestant that they choose to go for Miss
Active Vision Award.
Sorry about that. Just let me look on this. That choose to go to the competition. Because you're accustomed to seeing a certain body type. Okay. But to blatantly be insulting, because some of them who complaining and talking, they never take part in nothing. They never take time to take part in nothing. Sometimes the woman or the man who they're living with, if you see how they're looking. But everybody out there want to trash the young lady instead of support her, because the Miss Universe contest, the body shape has changed. If you don't like the dress she's wearing, simply speak about the dress. That the dress didn't flatter her body the right way. But don't start to talk about the girl body and all them kind of thing. And she was singing with some other contestant, and she in the wrong show and all. Why are they so mean? We have in this country, there's a lot of people with Indian surname too. We have in this country supported all beauty queens that would have left our shores and go. All of them, whether Indian, whatever it is, because it's Trinidad and Tobago, we give that support. What is so wrong now that we have to drag this young lady? Where's the humanity? Where's the love and togetherness? But you know what? Social media has made it a place where it's easy for any every Tom, Dick, and Harry to go on it and just feel like tell people any kind of thing and insult people and say all the wrong things and all the worst things. But you know, if you were to answer them back to sue, they can't take it. So social media, the people have a place where they feel empowered. They can tell people all kind of thing now. Let me just get a picture of her and show you if you didn't see her. So I wish her all the best. And there will be costume misses. Just like anybody else, sometimes you're dressed in something and it was looking good one way, and when you think it looks something different. But that doesn't mean you have to drag she body and how she breast big and how she bottom flat. And no, that is wrong. All your body shaming. You can't have all the shape. If you see it, it has somebody in the putting in the breast and the putting in the bottom look like a wisdom tooth. But they're already rocking it. Yeah? I find it too unfair. But all that picture just now, let me see T. That's just my 2 cents on it, and I wish you all the best. And just know you. I wish you all the best. Right? That's Chanel Towns. So letter continues. This was just a little different. Yes, it's jealous, because for them can represent nobody, nothing. And I hear how some people carry them over talking about it. You think the local legend, you see they don't understand in beauty shows. It's not just you're looking pretty and you're dumb, you know. It's beauty with a brain and purpose, you know. And they know not everybody's skinny like a twig. And everybody had a complexion, all them things. Those are the days a long time when they used to show you on TV that the waist clenching, tight, and then they come. No, them days gone. Because you have all types. But all I want to see it go back to is the American standard for beauty. That is what I wanted to go back to. The European standard for beauty, and all you go feel good about it. Let me continue, yes. Miss Tongs, I wish you the best. I wish you the best. So I'm seeing. Again, they keep saying that this country suffering and by it falling apart. Dr. Ronnie going to Guyana, some of them saying he's going to crash the economy. Let me tell you people, Trinidadians becoming some of the most hateful. This social media has created a set of monsters and the behaviors, and most of the people who complaining and getting on whatever, nothing in their life ain't going blasted good. And then trying to do nothing good in their life. They ain't even making an attempt, but only saying down and only criticizing everybody every day. Today's Friday. So I'm seeing the country is falling apart and we're suffering and nothing ain't going good. I've seen here that in the Guardian News 20 hours ago, Unilever profit rise by 46%. Unilever Caribbean Limited, UCL, yesterday reported unaudited after-tax profits of $19.38 million for the first 9 months of its financial year, a 96% increase compared to $13.27 million the company earned for the same period in 2024. So when we count how much millions now, they make say almost 24 million last year. This year they make almost 20 million. Count now, how much millions extra they make, how they make it. The after-tax profit of the personal and home care company for the period January 1st to September 30th, 2024 were greater than the audited $17.15 million it reported in its 2023 financial year. UCL revenue for the 9-month period totaling $173.8 million 2.96% more than the 169.10 million it generated for the same period in 2024. Unilever chair Daniela Bucaro, in her review of the results, said the revenue growth was primarily attributed to the beauty and personal care category, particularly from its power brand Dove, Degree, Vaseline, and Axe. Like real Vaseline selling. These brands have consistently delivered significant profitable growth in the year to date, outpacing the overall growth rate of the company. The highly profitable BPC category has increased to 55% of total revenue compared to 50.8% during the same period last year. The ice cream category has performed well, benefiting from a change in distributors, which has contributed to the overall profitability growth this quarter, said Bucaro. She noted that in the home care category, the company continues to experience positive momentum in volume recovery compared to the previous year as it reinvests in brands, or it reinvests in brands at both local and regional levels. She said the company gross margin have improved due to the robust performance of the higher margin beauty and personal care category, as well as management emphasis on cost optimization and operational efficiencies. This improved profitability has enabled reinvestment in our brand as we invest in future growth, said Bucaro. She said the company continues to effectively and diligently manage its working capital by maintaining optimal inventory levels and ensuring healthy receivable levels while fulfilling obligations as they come due. The approach has contributed to an increase in cash reserves by $15.9 million. That's right here in Trinidad. Right here in Trinidad. But this country falling apart, and this government not managing the economy good, and people suffering. Some other news. So I see that Dwight York would have held his first meeting with just now. Right. So you all know he's our new senior men's football team coach. So this was November the 13th. York Latapy, this was in the Daily Express. York Latapy, King begins work. Dwight York has begun work as Trinidad and Tobago's national coach, armed with 3 assistants, including close friend Russell Latapy and recent caretaker coach Derek King. York yesterday, 53, held his first training session and a mostly local base squad on a spanking new surface at the Otto Bolden Stadium. Also at the training was assistant coach Latapy, a second assistant Neil Wood, who is a former Manchester United under-23 head coach, and returning assistant coach Derek King. So that is some good news here. Let me also see that something else here. The same name and staff. And that's all I see people complaining about. So this is who is his backroom staff. It says here, this is in TTT News Live. York names backroom staff. November the 14th, 2024. Dwight York has unveiled the core members of his backroom staff as he begins his tenure as head coach of the Trinidad and Tobago men's national team. York has enlisted powerful lineup to support the national team ambition in the international stage. So let me play it and hear what it says. Hey, what going on here? That's now, eh? Oh, look at my man. I play this thing and play. Oh, just so.
York's technical staff boasts significant experience. Neil Wood,
Russell Latapy, a revered former Trinidad and Tobago international and close ally of York, joins as assistant coach. Latapy has already commenced work with the team at their residential training camp, which kicked off on Monday at the Atherton Stadium. York's technical staff boasts significant experience. Neil Wood, former Manchester United under-23 head coach, has also been appointed as assistant coach. Wood's impressive resume includes nurturing 17 academy players to first-team debuts during his time at Manchester United. His expertise in player development aligns seamlessly with York's strategic vision. Adding to the team's strength is Australian strength and conditioning coach Anthony Creer, who brings familiarity with Trinidad and Tobago football from his role as high-performance coach with the Australian under-17 team during the 2001 FIFA Under-17 Men's World Cup in Trinidad and Tobago. Creer also spearheaded high-performance training for Australia's 2006 World Cup campaign. Derek King, who ensured stability as the interim coach, remains in the coaching team as an assistant coach, providing continuity as York leads squad into a new era. The roles of longtime managers Richard Piper, Major Basil Thompson, and Michael Coxey Williams, as well as trainers Sharon Joseph, Joey Ruplal, and Adarrell John, are yet to be defined. A goalkeeping coach is also to be confirmed. The highly respected Ross Russell currently holds the position. Nasira Mohammed, TTT Sport.
Right, so that is our football team. They're getting some motivational boost, I'm sure, from just the fact that Dwight York, who is one of our most celebrated football players, playing at Manchester United, one of the highest level in international football, club football, and then going to do so many other things. You know, people don't start to talk already about the team and have no talent. Half of them can, even if they see a ball, don't know what to do with the ball. Talent is not everything. It's about communication. It's about understanding each other, understanding the pattern of play, understanding the role and the mission, and they could build. You could build talent. People don't know to play piano and just want to learn to play piano. So anyhow, let me continue. I see that Trinidad and Tobago has signed some document. This is it with the DEA.
With a handshake and the stroke of a pen, the TTPS will officially begin working with the DEA to establish a vetted unit, which was first announced by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley in July last year. Dr. Rowley told PNM supporters during a meeting on the San Fernando Promenade that the vetted unit would investigate corrupt police officers and government officials.
I'm telling this country that we are prepared to pay extra to police officers in those vetted units if they will maintain their integrity and help us to root out the criminals in the police service, in the customs, in immigration, and in the parliament.
And while he received some criticism for disclosing the higher remuneration for said officers, we got little from the DEA, who flew into TNT to sign the MOU. Do you have anything that you can tell us about the numbers? How many people will be involved on both sides? How much it will cost?
As far as the numbers, not really prepared to talk about that. But what I can tell you, it will be added value for the police department, for the country.
We don't know who the unit will report to or when it will be established, but Special Agent Foster is optimistic this collaboration will benefit the country.
I understand the concerns, but what I can tell you is that for us, the Drug Enforcement Administration, it's the opportunity for us to work with the police department to help the people of Trinidad and Tobago with the crime. And that's what we're here for, is to provide those resources and mentorship.
She declined to say whether the U.S. election will impact relations with TNT, But former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith says this vetted unit is welcome, as he claims government officials previously handpicked members of other vetted units.
Politicians are the ones who direct this, who will head the special branch, who will be involved in heading the director of the SSA, who appoints the commissioner of police. Political involvement can totally manipulate a vetting process. So I am asking the country to understand and appreciate that what the US is doing is what is required.
We reached out to National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hinds and to Minister in the National Security Ministry Keith Scotland, but they did not respond to our questions. However, in a subsequent statement to the media, Hinds said the establishment of the vetted units signifies the government's recognition that no single agency can tackle the complex issue of transnational organized crime. And amid concerns over US-TNT relations, Ambassador Candice Bond said the MOU embodies the shared commitment between both countries to make our communities safer and create an unprecedented level of professionalism and expertise in the TTPS. Doris Polo, CNC3 News.
Right, so that's some welcome news there. So we'll get our vetting unit up and running. It will be up and running, and we are getting assistance from the Americans, the DEA. I think that is Drug Enforcement Agency, if I'm not mistaken. What Dr. Rowley say go in and do is what he does do. And that's what they can take him for. He does skin and grin. He takes the hard decisions. So this is another one here. Scotland pleads a conversation on youth and social media usage. And this was in The Guardian. And it says here, hi, Troida. See, once these things not opening, I just going to read the headline because I can't take on the stress. Not today. I'm going to try it again. I'll give me a minute. Hi, Ruslan. Okay. Now you're early. Hi, Cheryl. I'm waiting for this thing to load. If not, I'm just going to read the headline and move on. And apparently it's not opening. I ain't had time. To stick our things to do. So it says that the minister in the Ministry of National Security, Keith Scotland, SC, says he's pleased with the conversation generated out of his recent remarks about law barring children below the age of 16 from accessing social media, noting they were timely and necessary. But I would really like to hear what they say, you know. One more time. 3 times is a charm, they say. 3 times is a charm. 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 No. So let me move on. So I'm seeing in the licensing division. What happened here? I'm seeing the licensing, right. Oh, God grief, it open. 18 hours ago in Guardian, Minister in the Ministry of National Security, Keith Scotland, says he's pleased with the conversations generated out of his recent remarks about law barring children below the age of 16 from accessing social media, noting they were timely and necessary. However, he emphasized that there were no immediate plans to legislate for a ban. I was speaking to a group and brought it to their attention that this is what is happening in Australia. And I just brought that to the forefront. There were no hints of any cabinet approval. I just spoke about something I read about and I found it interesting. At a seminar on cybercrime on Wednesday, Scotland referenced developments in Australia. I was reading this week in Australia, there's a move now to legislate against children and teenagers being online and having what you all know now, TikTok, until they reach the age of 16. That is something that we may have to look at in Trinidad and Tobago. Recently, the country's Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, revealed a law was coming to institute an age limit of 16 years for children to start using social media and hold platforms responsible for ensuring compliance. The legislation will be introduced in Parliament during its final 2 weeks in session this year, which begin on November the 18th. The age limit will take effect 12 months after the law is passed, Albanese told reporters. Scotland said there were no official plans by government at this time for policy towards banning social media for children. I'm very happy that it was spawned. I am very happy that it has spawned a mature conversation in Trinidad and Tobago, and a conversation because the mental health of young people is very critical, and social media plays a very pivotal role in their lives, and this is something we need to engage in very mature and meaningful discussion about it, he said. Meanwhile, psychiatrist Dr. Varma Jayal Singh said he was in support of efforts to curb the negative impact of social media on children. He noted that while there is growing evidence of online bullying and exposure to inappropriate content, a blanket ban may not address the root causes of social media harmful effects. To legislate against it now is something that might be difficult to control. It might also be a problem where if you catch a child using social media, what kind of punishment are you going to do? Would you be punishing the parent who may know now? Yes, no. Would you be punishing the parent who you may now say has a responsibility to the children's usage? So it's a difficult and far-reaching situation. Jayal Singh said while there are concerns about the implementation of legislation banning children from social media, parents must play a greater role in monitoring the usage of technology. And you know what I would say to that? I understand what the psychiatrist is saying. But you know what? Sometimes if you just say, well, oh gosh, if you do this, how this go happen? If you do this, then you will just go along if and nothing never get done. Something has to be started. It has to start somewhere, and it will make some people uncomfortable. It will have some issues and moments, but you have to do something. Me, for one, I'm in favor of it. Under 16 years old, you're not supposed to know social media thing for you. Stay off social media, whatever. When you're 16, you're more able to grapple with what's happening out there, and you already got a sense of what is cyberbullying, not to bully, and that. And then that is something hard to do that the psychiatrist saying it could be difficult to do. If a child under 18 is not considered an adult, so that child is in the care of the parent, the guardian, or if it's a child in a state facility. Then if the child is doing something that is illegal, whatever it is, the parents have to take the blame because the child won't be able to take the blame because the child is a child. If they're over 18, the hands of the stories. So this constant back and forth. Anyhow, it's a good idea and we'll see how that goes. But again, you'll have people jumping out and finding, that dictatorship. Everything is dictatorship. But they want to here to come like Singapore. Do you know Singapore is a dictatorship? You think if the Prime Minister across there say everybody wearing blue jersey today, you could go and wear something different? Or cut your hair one way. You think you go and cut it a different way? So this was in the Express 13 hours ago. Ministry lowers some traffic fines demerit. It says here, some changes have been made to the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act with some offences seeing lower fines and demerit points. The changes were gazetted on Wednesday in an order cited as the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Amendment to the 9th Schedule Number 2 of Order 2024. It comes into force on November the 18th. Among the changes include the introduction of fines for the misuse of disability parking permits. According to the order, failure to observe restrictions on the use of a disability parking permit in a disability parking zone, or displaying a cancelled or expired disability parking permit, or destroying, mutilating, defacing, or altering a disability parking permit, or failing to adhere to any condition for the use of a disability parking permit as registered in the register, we will see a fine of $2,000 and 3 demerit points accumulated by a driver. Additionally, failure to display a disability parking permit in or on a vehicle in such a place and in such a manner as directed by the licensing authority, as well as a failure to return the invalid disability parking permit to the licensing authority in specific circumstances, will see fines of $750 to $500. Both of the latter offenses also incurred 3 demerit points. 5 minor offenses are set to be reduced from $1,000 fine to a $500 fine, with the associated demerit points of 3 being reduced to 2. These include breaches of traffic signs, breaches of traffic order made by the minister, failing to comply with a traffic sign or notice authorized by the licensing authority or commissioner of police respectively, contravention of traffic order made by the commissioner of police, and breaches of parking restriction made by the minister. Additionally, 3 other offenses have attracted a reduction in demerit points. These include standing for hire at a place not appointed for the purpose, defaced or defective identification plate, and vehicle without silencers or fitted with cutouts. In June, Minister of Works and Transport Ron Sinanan indicated that the demerit point system remains an evolving framework that is adjusted according to outcomes and feedback. So those who are drivers, all will understand all I just read. I don't drive, so all will work it out. So there has been, and go and look at it, it has been gazetted. So it's out there for you all to go and look to see what are the new changes and the certain offenses and stuff when it comes to driving and whatever. Yeah? I'm a pedestrian. Happy to be one. So again, you know the saying, we suffering. Things hard. I'm just showing that for that purpose. We're suffering things real hard. Only watch this bacchanal here. And this is in Trinidad. Look why. Hey. We suffering, we hungry, boy. We hungry. Stop up there. Look. Go. Get it. Hey. Get it. Go. Yeah. Get up. Yeah. Right. That is our club advertising and show they're going to have. That is a club somewhere down Penal or somewhere there. They're going to have the big show. A bar. You see why not going? If they just show that down in Lavante, whatever, you will say it's ghetto. And look how they're whining and getting on. But them culture, which you should be proud of, is the culture. We all, when we do we thing, we lewd and we ghetto. Think it's soft. We suffering. Them getting ready to have a competition and the good whining. I'm also seeing, because we really suffering in this country, I'm also seeing the minister here saying, in a news day, 16 hours ago, Embert, credit card spending up by 50%. Only want me to read it again? Credit card spending up by 50%. There wasn't just cussing about Forex. Where does trading in TT dollars? Finance Minister Embert said a 50% hike in the use of credit cards could be partially blamed for Trinidad and Tobago currency forex exchange crunch. He was speaking on November the 14th at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, at the Principal Research and Award Ceremony. Emmett said he had met private bankers 2 days prior and had asked about credit card use. He said he had learned that over the past 5 years, the number of credit cards issued had risen by 50%. Likewise, he said credit card spending has also risen by 50%. Emmett lamented that he had to do the research himself. Likewise, he said Ministry of National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines could also benefit from university academic research, such as to learn about the behavior of at-risk young men. Earlier, Emmett recalled just being told by campus Principal Professor Rosemary Antwine, that previously his ministry had donated $7 million towards a research fund for UWI St. Augustine, but that fund was now almost depleted. Emmett pledged a fresh donation of $10 million from his ministry towards the University Research Fund. So Principal just write me a letter. However, even as he lamented having to do his own research into credit card use without any help, he equipped of the 10 million, so it will come with conditions. Guest giggled while Antwine shot intellectual freedom. Emmett somewhat conceded by saying most scientific discoveries of the past 1,000 years had come from basic or abstract research rather than applied research. However, he insisted, but I am asking you to spend that 10 million on applied research. And that's what we need to do, a lot of research in this country, and we don't pay much emphasis on it because that will tell you a lot of stuff. For example, I would have done a whole research paper for cooks when we were looking to get it be a part of the negotiation documents to go before the CPO. That was under Watson Solomon talking about 2013. And my research was done showing that cooks, because we have to endure an unusual amount of heat while standing on concrete floors for long hours, that we needed extra support in our shoes because everybody have different feet. Some people have flat feet, some people have all different stuff, right? All we needed as a PPE, the ergonomic mats to put in front, like the stove and areas that we're doing long standing, so that will give a pressure release from standing on the hard. All those things I did in research, you know. I showed that before I came into the service cooking, I didn't need glasses. The heaters rose the retina on them. Those things are serious things, yeah? But you can them wasn't in one part in them kind of thing. I even was doing some research I started that if you look at the kind of complaints that cooks have, medical complaints, a lot of it is hysterectomies. A lot of the issues that cooks have is knee and joint pain and arthritis. Those are serious things, but it needs to be researched. I'm not a researcher. I just was observing and doing my writing. But the point I'm making is they say we're suffering, things so hard, whatever it is, but credit card shopping has increased by 50%. And once you have a credit card, the shopping out there is US money. And what is nice, the Ministry of Finance have given the UE, the research area, $7 million to do research, and they're giving $10 million this time. Excuse me. So that we could have some research happening, so we will be able to benefit from the type of work that they do. So let me continue. We had some recent flooding, and some people, I guess, are still under flood waters, and we empathize with them in Woodland and those low-lying areas. And first thing people just go is the ministry, is the government. Nobody will talk about people building their homes in areas that houses not supposed to be, because wetlands is not the best place to go build homes. Areas that with swamps and all is not the best place, but people want a place to live and whatever. And then when Kamala and them, they build a set of box drains and them not going nowhere really, just box drains start and stop here. Some people would have diverted the natural flow of the river to somewhere else. All those things cause problems, right? So we see the flooding and whatever. I want you all to look and see what's happening in Grenada.
Heavy mid-morning showers on Tuesday unleashed severe flash flooding across Grenada, leading to early closures of businesses and schools, power outages, and frustratingly long traffic delays. Landslides and impassable roads left the nation struggling to cope as torrents of water surged through known flood-prone areas and even submerged parts of the National Stadium parking lot.
We have seen. The last flood probably we had probably in 21, and then the next day we were able to play our 2020 match against South Africa was still is. And in this case, we have it really bad. In fact, we don't accustomed with the Kaplan being flood, for example, or the football field being flood, for example, and now we are seeing that happening. Okay. So it's the worst we have ever seen.
But this is the worst I ever seen. The sea line and the road line is almost on the same level. This is right along the road right now. I've never seen this in the history of being in this particular area. The torrential downpours wreaked havoc with reports of flooding across the country, including the capital, St. George's. The flash floods completely inundated the road between the National Stadium and Grenada Electricity Services Limited, where around 40 vehicles were partially submerged in the stadium's car park. A stadium worker was seen braving waist-deep waters to help a colleague to safety. T.A. Marishu Community College in Tantin was among the hardest hit institutions. Floodwaters seeped into classrooms, forcing students to climb onto chairs and tables as water levels rose. The Ministry of Education urged principals, parents, and guardians to prioritize safety, advising against travel to flood-prone areas and instructing parents to pick up children early to avoid further risk. The flooding also disrupted electricity services across parts of St. George's. Grenlec announced outages linked to the severe weather, with teams working urgently to restore power to affected customers. The National Water and Sewage Authority issued a similar advisory, noting that all dams were blocked and landslides had damaged pipelines, compromising water supply across multiple areas. Videos circulating online depicted vehicles swept away by powerful currents on River Road, while others showed residents navigating knee-deep water. The Ministry of Infrastructure issued a temporary measure to open Molyneux Road for 24 hours, giving residents a detour to reach the West Coast, as authorities continue to assess the damage and restore essential services. The severity of the flooding serves as a stark reminder of Grenada's vulnerability to intense weather events. Roll Titus reporting from St. George's.
Yeah, that was just Tuesday.
Treaty food.
What? Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. That was just Tuesday in Grenada. So the flooding in Trinidad, they like to talk about the draining clean. It's not only that alone. We have an unprecedented rainfalls now. That is due to climate change, but some people don't want to believe is real. Added to the fact some people go and build what they're supposed to build. Added to the fact drains and things, people clogging up those drains, dropping all kind of thing and bamboo, all kind of thing. It's a whole thing. It's not just the government alone. So let me continue. Bacchanal in Tobago. Bacchanal in Tobago. What in the dark does come to light, you know? And that little short hubris syndrome looking one, that is my opinion. That little dotish looking one. The minister, where is the Secretary of Infrastructure or something? I find he looks so dotish. So Bacchanal in the JSC, the Joint Select Committee. This was a couple of days ago. This is how it went. At today's JSC meeting, the THA administrator, the accounting officer, told us that the Division of Infrastructure led by Trevor James awarded a design, build, finance contract to a Trinidad contractor, and the project is currently stalled because the said contractor is unable to finance the project to completion. Even worse, the administrator said that the division is now renegotiating and varying this $25 million contract in order to pay the contractor 50% of the money so they can complete this project on Lamy Road. Also bear in mind, a whistleblower told me last year that this same contractor was already paid $10 million on this project. This is Senator Ansel Dennis reporting this. It was also revealed that the infamous roofing contractor who recently released a highly controversial screenshot of conversations with Trevor James never started his project. Also bear in mind that a whistleblower told me that this particular contractor was all over South Trinidad begging associates to finance the project and was at one time trying to sell the contract. The administrator also spoke about a highly controversial friendship role that is incomplete and now embroiled in the courthouse due to the THA illegal trespass on private land. All this now is being revealed after Chief Secretary Fali Augustus told us in September 2022 that these projects were emergencies to be completed in time for October Carnival 2022, and that they had to use contractors from Trinidad because they were the only ones with the capacity to finance this project and wait 18 months for final payment. I knew all along that this was nonsense. This is only the stench. Wait until the mess is exposed. So listen to a little bit of what Senator Anson Dennis had to say.
I want to show you some videos and pictures of this project. And these videos and pictures were taken today. Have a look for yourself. This is the $25 million road that Fali told us they selected a competent contractor with the financial capability to do this road from start to finish and wait 18 months for payments. Look at the road, look at the project. Walls already falling apart, road already falling apart in this picture. Parts of the road left unpaved in just gravel. Look at it. $25 million. Gravel. That is what we got. Improper drainage. Look at it, incomplete drainage. These pictures were taken today, the same project. $25 million. Look at it. Look at the culverts, spaces between the culverts. These are the drains that were built. $25 million. Incomplete. Contractor unable to finish. And the Tobago House of Assembly is now renegotiating. Look at it. Parts of the road already falling apart. And it's not even 2 years. This is the drainage. This is the drainage and the workmanship that we got for $25 million. And I want to say to the administrator and other public servants in the Tobago House of Assembly to CYA. And you should know what that means. Because when the thing hit the fan, these politicians will be prepared to throw you under the bus and blame you for this manner of evil that is being inflicted on the people of Tobago. $25 million. And this is the quality of work that we're getting. Contractor already paid $10 million. And the THA, through its administrator of infrastructure, is telling us that they are currently renegotiating this project to pay this contractor half of the money, 50% of the money, so that he can complete the project. And this is after the Chief Secretary told us, the Chief Secretary that you all trusted, the Chief Secretary that you also as a man of integrity, and who has now distinguished himself as one of the largest men on the planet, that these projects will be financed fully and contractors will have to wait 18 months for payment. And somebody asked me yesterday to name the contractor, and I'm going to name the contractor. The name of the contractor is Construction Services and Supplies Limited. But a member of the committee asked the administrator of infrastructure if that contractor will be doing any more work for the Tobago House of Assembly. Because I could tell you how we operated before. We had instances where contractors did not give us value for money. There was a contractor doing a boardwalk in Boko at the time. The then chief administrator and I went down to Boko, saw the nonsense that was taking place, and we fired the contractor. It's as simple as that. Fired him, sent him packing, brought in another contractor to finish the project. And I told the chief administrator that that contractor is never to set foot in Tobago again to do any work for the Tobago House of Assembly. So a member of the committee asked the administrator if this contractor who signed a contract providing, well, I'm not sure if he provided any evidence. As a matter of fact, I do not believe any evidence was provided to Trevor and his team down at infrastructure that he had the finances to start and finish the project. But he signed a contract. And as part of the contract, well, let me add this into the mix. A birdie, let me not say a birdie. A whistleblower whispered to me that when these contractors heard the chief secretary talking about 9 months for first payment and 18 months for second payment, some of the contractors were saying they don't know what he's talking about. So now we have to wonder as Tobagonians whether or not it was actually part of the contractual arrangements for these contractors to wait 9 months for payment, 9 months for first payment after completion, and another 18 months for final payment. We have to wonder if that was actually included in the contract. Or is it another case that of the chief secretary lying blatantly to the people of Tobago? But I will go with the administrator because the administrator did indicate that it was supposed to be a design, build, finance arrangement. So this contractor purported to have the capacity and the capability to start the contract, finish the contract, get payment according to FALI after 18 months, and we're in a situation now where the project is abandoned, where we are seeing shoddy work, improper drainage, unpaved areas of the road, drains already falling apart and caving away. And the question was asked, will this contractor receive any more projects from the Tobago House of Assembly?
All right. That's what happening in Tobago. It coming to roost. The chicken coming home to roost. My wife little grease off, you know, say, yeah. The chicken coming home to roost, and that chopper looking one, I tell all about who feel they're bigger than everybody. One who call we are unwashed and unclean and all kind of things they tell me, they go out to answer. But let me continue. Them go walk out, they walk out. Let me go to the Auditor General quick. You remember the Auditor General saying, some are actually saying that the central bank refused she to come in to check the system, that everybody other than she agree would have caused the understatement of the $2.6 billion. They call it error, discrepancy, underpayment, right? Those are the words used. So let me read and show you what this was. A report in the Express, September the 10th. And let me read the area here, right? When the Auditor General Department, okay, today there has been no internal audit report on the $2.6 billion revenue discrepancy caused by the malfunctioning of the central bank's electronic checking clearance system, ECCS. The special report by Auditor General Jaiwanti Ramdas has stated. And when the Auditor General Department, through Assistant Auditor General Shiva Sinanan, requested an urgent meeting with the central bank governor, Alvin Hillel, to examine the system. The request was denied, she said. However, addressing the parliament yesterday, Minister of Finance, Com Emberg, said that the denial was because the central bank had not received official correspondence from Ramdas delegating authority to her staff to act on her behalf on the matter. The report also stated that the Auditor General requested from the Ministry of Finance any cabinet minutes relating to the implementation of the ECCS, but was informed that there was none. So I'm going back again to read it again. She's saying that she has been denied permission to go in the central bank. The central bank is saying her deputy, Shiva Sinanan, right to tell them they want an urgent meeting with the central bank. And what the central bank is saying, basically, who authorized you? You is not the Auditor General, is the deputy. Did the Auditor General authorize you to write to we for a meeting? That's what they're basically saying. So they say, yeah, what? Let your boss, the Auditor General, let her write and tell us, well, you the sending or he the sending. She never responded. So she using the refusal of the Deputy Auditor General to say they refuse she. They didn't refuse she, they refuse he, because he's the deputy and they want to know if she gave he authority. Next thing she never gave he authority and he gone in there and went in and something happened, whatever it is. What's going to happen now? You know they're going to say the central bank auditor, the central bank governor. How you could let somebody come in saying that they get approval, authority to act on behalf of XYZ and you ain't see nothing in letter. Even in the public service, we know that. If you were to do something outside with duty, we said no problem. But it's in black and white. Because if while I'm doing it, I get injured or anything, I could show them the paper that you, as my supervisor, you give me permission and tell me to do it, look, sign it here. All of we know them thing. Because if they go and send it to do something, you go and do it, anything happen. And them see themselves in trouble. You know, they go and say, I can't remember. I did tell you that. I can't remember. What are you going to do now? Come now, man. So the Auditor General, in my opinion, she lying based on this. And I tell all already, if you had to lie to make your point, you never had one, right? So, come up aside with Cesar because there's supposed to be a meeting between the Auditor General and his staff and the Minister of Finance. And it didn't happen for whatever reason. So Kamala is saying that the government hiding and ducking. But I want to also add in the mix. Why Jai want to keep meeting with the Minister of Finance for them to question she. When she take the Minister of Finance to the Privy Council, where she get a leave to go back now to seek judicial review to see if they will agree with her to stop the Minister of Finance from investigating the process that caused the understatement of the 2.6 billion, and she probably feel she go be investigated too. So where you want to go and meet with the Minister of Finance, so wait until you go in court and you win your case and continue, because it's the same man you have to go and meet. It's the same man going to ask a question, and what are you going to do? So you see this woman looking for couture and bacchanal. You know take and you know about your win. You win the matter, so what are you going to have a meeting with the man for? You're supposed to say wait until the matter call in the court. Wait until the judicial review settle where they say, well, you can investigate or you can't investigate. So you go on to meeting, I don't know, to be honest, if it was me, I didn't say that's his reason. I didn't say that's the reason, I don't know why. But you see, me didn't meet with she at all. She trappy, in my opinion. I didn't say that's what happened. I just said, I didn't meet him with she at all. When the case done, and the legal people say A, B, C, D, F, G, then. Because that looking like good trap, in my opinion. So let me load this story with Kamala saying that the government ducking because they meet with the Auditor General. And again, the thing taking long to think. Today people are not seeing how much people on the live, so I guess when I look to call out names, they may not be there. Ashton Legaton, let me tell you something. I would prefer you come off my life, right? I would prefer you come off my life. You believe in the PP, you believe in Fali, you believe in all that is wrong. So just come off my life, please. Right? You don't believe in honesty, transparency, with all due respect. You love Fali and them no matter what they do, and you prefer a UNC. Come off my life. Right? And we go do it like that. Come off. Right, so this was in the garden. Oh gosh, what is this? Not this one. This I'm trying to open. What happening here? Everybody free to like what party they like, you know. I don't have a problem with that, you know. But you see, when you want to move in dishonesty, I want to call people like me and others we sycophant for PNM and all them shit. Because I could say you're a sycophant. Not even find a pan. Right? For Fali and them. And we don't tell all of them things. So it makes no sense to come in my life to listen to nothing. Because they're not going to approach this in a common sense and logical way. Because evidence is here, where we reading from. All of us committing all their makeup. We don't make up nothing. And today is Friday. This is one of these days on my life today. So, yesterday in the garden, Auditor General PAC meeting postponed Kamla say government docking. Opposition leader Kamla Pasabi has accused the government of hiding and docking after a highly anticipated public account committee meeting carded for yesterday to review the details surrounding the Auditor General report into the 2.6 billion understatement of revenue in the 2023 public financial statement was suddenly postponed. And how I read this, the damn right to postpone it. Because it's the same thing she refusing to do. And she go to High Court, she go to this court, she go on Privy Council now. We want to meet with we for? Wait till the matter finish in the court. You say it's an understatement, you never say it's a fraud, you never say nobody thief. You say understatement. But yet when your whole staff and everybody tell you that yes, it was an error from the central bank because of a new checking system, you're the only person in all of them who don't want to agree with that. So you go to court. So when the hell you want to meet with the minister for? I would take that approach. I didn't say that is what they did. I'm just telling you. I would take that approach. I'm not meeting with you. When the case finished, because you could go and say I said I didn't say and all kind of stupidness. Let me continue. Shortly after 9:30 yesterday morning, Auditor General Jaiwanti Ramdas and members of her department arrived at the Parliament's J. Hamilton Morris meeting room for the public event, which was scheduled for 10:30 a.m. It was expected that members of the committee, which included 5 government members and 2 opposition members, chaired by Oropouche West Member of Parliament Dave Tanku, were expected to examine the Auditor General's finding on the government expenditure and a controversial $2.6 billion revenue discrepancy. Only listen to the words there. However, it was postponed when around 11:15 a.m. a Parliament official entered the lobby area and notified Ramdas. The Auditor General and her team, which comprised of Assistant Auditor General Shiva Shivanan, the one who write to the central bank governor to come and observe the thing, and the central bank governor say, watch me, let your boss write and say who is she delegating you or giving you responsibility. They never responded. Dicey Shivanan. Senior Legal Officer Anita Mangar, Acting Audit Executive 2, Marcia Valley Morris, and Audit Executive 1, Brenda Ragbir, Jean appeared shocked. Pasabi Sessa said a postponement appeared to be an attempt by the government to sidestep the public ventilation of this contentious matter. Responding to a question during a media briefing yesterday, Pasabi Sessa pledged that if elected into office, her government would ensure full transparency in the matter. That's a nasty, dirty woman, Kamla Pasabi Sessa, I saying so. Because under Sharon Otley, when Kamla Pasabi Sessa was the Prime Minister, The report showed for 2014, billions of dollars being spent in the ministry with no record, none accounting, no receipt, undocumented. So it was still that even you don't want transparency then. But I think all they call it discrepancy, error. All they want big investigation. But under your tenure, it didn't have discrepancy, you know, it didn't have error, and it didn't have understatement, it had fraud. Because there was no documentation to show the money all they spending. But when you come back in office, but that's what people like Legaton and them want. All this stink alike. She said the government is hiding again, but I remember famous words in the parliament, they can run but they can't hide. And that's what we tell you, you can run but you can't escape, because right now your party stink and dirty are coming to that dress now. Or they want to study PNM business, or they have another party man only showing people the P. I comment to that. Wusa. We will not let the matter rest. Almost $3 billion cannot be accounted for. Where the money going? The government has to account, and if not today, when we form the government, we will put a full inquiry into the missing $3 million. The $3 billion, it's not even $3 billion. The money not missing. The money not missing. And I don't want to really call it a JA, but the money not missing. That is not what the Auditor General is saying. The same Jaiwanti, she's not saying missing. They're saying error, discrepancy, and understatement. Nobody said missing. It's Kamala and them putting teeth and missing in people's head. People like Legaton and them, Ashford Legaton and them, putting in the head, and them dunce and them who does be a 91.9 on evening. Putting in people's head about teeth and missing. The Auditor General never said no money missing. She workers who she carry with she to that meeting. Them never said missing. Them agree that is a checking system. A new checking system in the central bank that made the error. Them continues. And if they say Kamala says something else again, I do not stop reading this. Garden Media attempted to speak to Ramdas about the development. However, she declined. She must decline. All that was a show and pony and horse show that she carried on yesterday or day it was. She know very well she ain't supposed to go to no meeting. Where you going for meeting for? You have a matter in court. Where you going meeting for? And they don't want nobody to investigate you. You want to talk about it and they don't write a report and say money, error and discrepancy. Where you going to answer and say again? What it is to say, if everybody else saying is a discrepancy and is an error due to the checking system and you alone saying that is not an error, where you going to say again? All this thing look like it's a setup thing. And who is sounding like behind it, in my opinion? 3 letters, UNC. That's an opinion I'm giving. When contacted to find out what caused the meeting to suddenly defer, PAC Chairman Dave Tanku said he was unable to comment. Committee member Dr. Amy Brown indicated that the committee met for its in-camera session and a decision was taken to defer the public hearing. When pressed for a reason why, he did not state. The dispute between Ramdas and the ministry arose on April after the Ministry of Finance sought to deliver amended public accounts to explain a reported 2.6 underestimation. Here the words are in revenue. Initially, Ramdas refused to accept them and claimed that she needed legal advice on whether she could receive those documents after the January statutory deadline for submission. The Auditor General eventually accepted the records and dispatched audit staff to verify them. So she accepted it. So she seeks legal advice because that's what she's saying. She cannot accept these amended audit report until she gets legal advice because the date for submitting had passed. And then she accepted it. So it means to say her legal advice said that she could take it, okay? She accepted the records and dispatched the audit staff to verify them. And she audit staff verify them. Okay? She then submitted her original after you see the nastiness of that woman. After you let your staff go through and verified the documentation you get with the $2.6 billion, you get legal advice to accept it. You accept it, you give your staff to go through it, to verify it. Your staff verify it. You accept it back by them, but you go on and put your original audit report with the $2.6 billion not in it. That woman on games. That woman on games. The Auditor General eventually accepted the records and dispatched audit staff to verify them. She then submitted her original annual report to Parliament, which was based on the original records. So you let your staff. I wanted that staff of the Auditor General office, to me, that woman looking like she could throw her under the bus, She was appointed by the Constitution at Trinidad and Tobago, All they get all the work through Service Commission, all they guided by the Service Commission authority, Civil Service Act. That woman, in my opinion, looking like she could throw all under the bus, because she gave all to verify the new accounts. All they verified, get shit. And she still went and put instead the original one where she don't have it in it. Take care of all they getting set up, because all they agree that it is an accounting error coming out of a new system in the central bank. She's the only person not saying so, All right. She also contended that the amended records appeared to be backdated to the original statutory deadline in January. So when she staff them audited report to the 2.6 billion to verify, and they verified. She didn't see it was backdated. She didn't know it was backdated. Nobody tells she it was backdated. So she excused for not putting it in she report now is because she said it was backdated. Only listen to what the thing going on. Ramnas she also contended that the amended records appear to be backdated to the original statutory deadline in January. Ramnas also took issue with the fact that the discrepancy, the word she used again, discrepancy, was initially estimated at 3.4 billion. Embert has consistently denied any wrongdoing. And he could deny because, you know what, Minister Embert does not make up the accounts. There's a whole budgetary department in the Ministry of Finance with budget analysts. It's them who does do them thing. Them that just get the minister, that just get the money where they spend, whatever it is, and the budget analysts in that department, it's them who does make up them thing. The minister don't sit down and make up no accounts. He's not a budget analyst. They have a whole special area for that. So if he give his records and whatever he have from the ministry and whatever sending, and this one sending, that one sending, the budget analyst, the part, that I tell all you, this Ramdas woman, in my opinion, like she throwing public officers under the bus. Because the Minister of Finance does not make up any finance thing. And no audit report, he don't do those things. He have technocrats, that's what they call them, technocrats. Okay. Some of them are public officers. All right. The minister, lawyers claim that the reconciliation after the initial estimate revealed that the variance was in fact 2,278,188.2. I ain't feel to go through all that. That is it. Them is billions they're talking about it. Which was attributed to the value added tax, individuals, business levy, and green fund levy contribution. In laying out the special report in Parliament, Embert opposed comments made by Ramnas in an affidavit in her case, in which she claimed that her ability to perform a proper audit and verify the issues had caused the error was hampered as she was allegedly blocked by central bank from accessing its electronic check-in clearing system. You're picking up on inconsistencies, eh? Because she said when they send the audited accounts to she with the 2.6 billion, I'm putting it my way, layman's way. She gave it to she staff to verify it. And they verify it and give it back to she. And she went to Parliament and instead of laying the new, including the $2.6 billion, she lays she original documents that don't have it in it. And she's saying that the central bank blocking she from coming in to check the system. The central bank, based on what Minister Comember say, I mean here, Mr. Alvin Halle come out and say he lied. She deputy right to the central bank to ask to come to see the system. And all the central bank asks, I want your boss to write to tell me if she gave you the authority or whoever she given the authority to come on she behalf. They never responded yet. Watch how this thing ticking up. You remember just before that, Moody would have given Trinidad and Tobago Moody and Standard & Poor's would have given Trinidad and Tobago a good credit rating based on the projection of revenue. And the IMF also, this year would have given us a good report. So if the $2.6 billion is not recorded as revenue and they go downgrade, we ding ding. Let me just finish all this and let me continue. But opposed comments made by Ramdas in affidavit in her case, in which she claimed that her ability to perform a proper audit and verify the issues that caused the error was hampered as she was allegedly blocked by the central bank from accessing its electronic check-in clearing system. Last week, Ramdas was given green light to continue her lawsuit over a cabinet-appointed probe into the handling of a misrepresentation of revenue in the national accounting. 5 warlords of the Privy Council dismissed the appeal brought by Finance Minister Comembert, and the cabinet, after hearing submission from attorney for the state and United Kingdom Supreme Court in London. So we want to meet with financial thing in Parliament for. We want to reach. You win a case? Go to court now and fight a case. Let me continue. I tell all you already. Watch them. So let me tell all the meaning of certain words. And tell me which part in that it speaks about fraud and thieving. Discrepancy. An accounting discrepancy is an unintentional error or inconsistency in financial records. Discrepancies can occur between internal records and external documents or between different internal reports. This can be caused by human error or a system issue. Discrepancies should not be confused with fraud, which is an intentional error in an accounting item, usually to hide or alter data for personal gain. A discrepancy must mean something means something does not match. You will have to obtain or go back and locate the discrepancy or to reconcile it. That is not what she staff and them do. Okay. That discrepancy. Error. An accounting error is an unintentional mistake in an accounting entry, such as mathematical error, incorrect application of accounting principles, or oversight. Accounting errors can occur when transporting numbers, misunderstanding accounting rules, hitting incorrect keys, recording an entry to the wrong customer or vendor, duplicating an entry, failing to record a transaction, forgetting about depreciation. Accounting errors can have a significant impact on business decision making. While small errors may not affect the final number in financial statement, larger errors can cause major distortion. Understatement. In accounting, an understatement is when a reported amount is less than the actual amount. This can happen for a number of reasons, including omitting an asset or inventory item, miscounting an inventory item, making a math error while calculating inventory costs, and using incorrect accounting rules. Understatements can lead to lower profits for a company. For example, if a company understates its liabilities, it can result in an overstated net income. This overstated net income is then carried over to the balance sheet as retained earnings, which can inflate shareholders' equity. The opposite of understatement is an overstatement, which is when an accounting value is reported as greater than the actual amount. Anyway, they say, come remember, thief any money. Anyway, it say that fraud. Okay. Or I watch all the scene playing off, you know. Listen to this. I just reading about how these accounting things does go. And if it ain't opening, I'm moving on. This was in Culture News. And this was 2020. More than 18 countries lost US billions in revenue due to poor hydrocarbon accounting systems. Specifically holding This viewpoint is petroleum consultant Randall Mohammed. During an exclusive interview with Kaiser News, Mohammed explained that the hydrocarbon accounting system are used by petroleum nations across the world to ensure that they are able to track gas and oil ownership from the point of production to the point of sale. If these systems are not effective, Mohammed said that there can be errors and delays in hydrocarbon accounting, which can result in significant financial loss for the state. Taking this into consideration, Mohammed said it is essential that the Guyanese authorities make every effort to ensure that not only hydrocarbon computer systems that execute such accounting rules are correctly programmed, but that measurements are accurate and that reporting is timely. Mohammed said Guyana has commenced lifting and selling oil from Lisa 1 and soon Lisa 2 will come online. The objective is to implement a proper accounting system ahead of future production and sales so that Guyana can ensure it is not suffering any losses. It is the job of every government to protect the state. To further cement his case, Mohammed shared that 4 years ago he had commissioned a survey to be done on the importance of hydrocarbon accounting systems. Mohammed said he had hired a consultant, Dr. Hisham Nofia, to conduct this survey on his behalf. The industry expert, listen to it, the industry expert who hails from Trinidad and Tobago said, in total, we surveyed 53 national oil companies across the Middle East, Asia, Africa, and Latin America with crude oil production from low as 50,000 barrels of oil per day to a high of 2.6 million for South America, including Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Argentina, Cuba, Peru, and Bolivia. The energy consultant said that the survey concluded that more than 35% of the natural oil companies and governments around the world did not have a proper hydrocarbon accounting system to reconcile volumes. He said that they simply accepted that it was invoiced by the oil companies. Ideally, Mohammed said that the data should be reconciled with a metering system at the wells at FPS, so that floating production, storage, and offloading vessel, and the FPSO to sail pipeline or tankers, accounting for the difference in contaminants such as water. In the absence of this, he said the nation suffers significant revenue leakage. With this in mind, the Trinidad and Tobago expert cautioned that it is in Guyana's interest to ensure that it has the right systems in place to ensure that it is not suffering any major losses. He commented that a good accounting system will ensure better performance monitoring. It also forms a basis of any future study or improvement current system. So you see the importance of having systems, even in the petroleum industry, they have a hydrocarbon accounting system. And it's we own professionals who went across Guyana that just want to talk about we big out here, we large in the dance, we have the capacity. That's why they say on the capacity index, Trinidad and Tobago high up, they're higher than Barbados, Jamaica, and all them countries, about 60 something, all them way down, it's out of 170 something, 80 something countries. And finally, I want to play this again to show that when they're talking, they spit. That this is not something unusual. It is not something that is unusual to have an error done in accounting, an understatement, or a discrepancy. It is nothing new. What do you think, go on? Let me just play it quick. I'll just play one.
They're looking at a constitutional amendment that it would change the way the state's top accountant is put into office. It comes after the Comptroller General said there was a $3.5 billion accounting error. We've been covering it for you right here in Fox Carolina. Our Zach Boletsky explains how the error was made and what the local CPA says it could mean for the future.
Well, Tori, Richard Ekstrom is the South Carolina Comptroller General, and he says the error started more than 10 years ago. It was only discovered last year and wasn't made public until February. For more than a decade, the state double counted money transferred to colleges and universities. Ekstrom says the issue started when the state changed accounting systems that created confusion about how to report those funds, and that error eventually compounded. Now, Montgomery & Company CPA's advisor Sheila Morgan says more than anything, the error makes South Carolina look incompetent. We asked Morgan what real-life impacts this error will have.
the main risk is the credit rating agencies. If they decided to downgrade the state's credit rating, it could increase the borrowing costs to the state. But as far as a direct impact on taxpayers, no.
Now, there's no word right now if the state's credit rating will be impacted by the error. And today, lawmakers were discussing looking at a constitutional amendment that would change the way the state's top accountant, Richard Ekstrom, the Comptroller General, is put into office, changing it from an elected position to one appointed by the governor. For now, reporting, Zach Perlutsky, Fox Carolina News.
You hear what he said there? They want to know to take it from a state official to one appointed. Isn't Jaiwanti appointed? It also said that $3.5 billion error, accounting error in Carolina, 10 years, they only pick up on it last year. And you hear the woman say, with that, it could create where they get downgraded, the credit rating get downgraded. Let me go back to what I now say. Just this year, Standard & Poor's and Moody and IMF give we a good credit rating because of the projection of growth. We make $2.6 billion in revenue. Some extra money, and it had to do with levies and this and that and whatever. And by the time they move it or wherever it is, $2.6 billion. Jaiwanti refused to put it in her report, although she would have given her staff to verify that 2.6, they verify it and negotiate. She came to Parliament and she just list the original one instead. Come on, all the ting. She just gave them the original one. She put in the new thing. Then she deputy Auditor General write to the Central Bank to come to see the accounting system. The write and say, here what's going on. We want your boss to let we know if it's usually one that's sending or this one, that one. She never sent back to say nothing. Think. Let me think. All that think about this thing. Think about it. You all see how the thing, the dots coming together. Bam, next thing we hear. Privy Council. Who is she lawyer? Kamala said them as UNC lawyers because when they deal with PSA matter and take WASA and PSA, take WASA to court, and it's High Court it went, Privy Council it went, and the other matter with the lawyers. Who was the lawyers? Kamala said we win, we lawyers win. Although Tom stupid, but Tom and drunk, no? Let me continue. So, Dr. Rowley has led a delegation to Guyana. And of course, the negative talk. But when Kamala Prasad Bissessa take $12 million of taxpayers' money and went to look for she ancestors in Bihar, one of the poorest states in India, what we get it? A whole plane was chartered and wait on the tarmac for them all kind of thing. What revenue she bring back? What investment she bring back? Dr. Rowley went to India and bring back Indian businessmen come here. The investment. Anywhere you go is investment. We should bring back in this country. Last time she was on, when she was Prime Minister, she was on a truck. Afloat in America with a sash. Like she's a Bollywood star. Next thing you look, you see she get an award from Glamour magazine or something. That's what she bring back. So she's a glam girl. We go live on glam. Well, let's sit down and let these people fool all you. So Dr. Rowley has led a delegation into, let me see that quick, into Guyana. Let me see what it's about because it's a real thing to talk. So government official confirmed yesterday that Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley will lead or will head a team from Trinidad at next week's second CARICOM India Summit in Georgetown, Guyana, which Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will attend. So he's out there. Narendra Modi will be there. And it has some people so stupid here then. What are you going to do? Crash the Indian economy? He's not going to India. How he could crash the Indian economy? Is Guyana he going number 1, 2. But they so hate. The summit is being held from November the 20th to the 24th at Georgetown Marriott Hotel and is geared towards fostering further cooperation between both regions. Trinidad and Tobago team is expected to leave on November the 19th. A CARICOM media advisory stated that the CARICOM-India meeting will be a historic one that is expected to further solidify bilateral cooperation between CARICOM and India in energy and infrastructure, agriculture and food security, health and pharmaceuticals, technology and innovation, as well as human resource and capacity building. Dr. Rowley and Foreign Affairs Minister Amy Brown did not reply to queries yesterday in which specific areas Trinidad and Tobago may seek to advance cooperation with India. No, don't tell them nothing in the media. Because the media, as people would have said, they're helping a weak UNC. A joint statement will be shared at the end of the summit. Ahead of the summit, a November 6th meeting held by the Indian CARICOM Joint Commission involving the Secretariat, CARICOM member states and ministries in India reviewed the entire spectrum of relationship between India and CARICOM. This included economic and commercial, agricultural, health rights. So we went over all that. Dr. Earlier Rido said nothing till the thing done. Up to now, they ain't reported nothing on Rudal Munilal and if he would have sent in the defense the 6th of November. But they're going back in detail to tell the way Foster Cummins had to go to court with Jaiwanti and next year and all that. They laid out in detail, but nothing about Munilal if he filed the thing. So they're working, in my opinion, they're working. The media, in my opinion, based on what I see and what the people meter polls say, people agree they're working with the UNC. Let me continue. So earlier, Bacchanal, I see a principal on stage with Kamala and them and talking about all the goodies he could bring. I don't know, like if they tell him he go be minister, shadow minister of education or what big post he go get whatever. But for a man who is the principal in Naparima, Dr. Dolat or something, so his name, you don't like a character, because how could you be going around a woman who they say led a kleptocratic government in this country, who they say corrupt, drunk and fall on country, and you right there where she still? But as I said before, sometimes people just play one thing, but really when they go and they find themselves in a place they're comfortable, birds of feather flock together. I go lead that day, that's my opinion. Kamala is touring the flood areas now, and she wants I think the minister or the government to deal with flooding. And the people who, I guess, who would have been billing illegally or whatever. Let me make sure it's that she see. You can't open it. I want to say Kamala and them is trapped. Them is trapped. Why she didn't deal with them 2010-15? The government to deal with them and ball the racial. It's racism because it's Indian people. This was in The Guardian. Opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar is calling for legal action against unscrupulous people, including residents whose unlawful action contribute to flooding. Kamala Hall, yes, are very disrespectful to the Hall. Because every time the government try to do something, they move them from about some area they are not thing, where they're going to build the waterfront in San Fernando, and all they carry on and get on. And when they go and tell people to move from here and they all say the government is dictator and they like nobody, you are the government to come and deal with the people. We say unscrupulous. Who is the unscrupulous people? Kamala Persad-Bissessar, who is the most majority people living in Penal? So you're trying to say Indian people down in Penal unscrupulous? All they hear Kamala throwing all under the bus. Like she's an ex-Jaiwanti. That's an opinion I'm giving. With many communities still flooded after heavy rainfall, she stated that government, both central and local, must take the responsibility through a minority of residents and organizations share some blame. Although a minority of residents and organizations share some blame. But Persad-Bissessar, the MP for Superior, she had to say something because she don't know any people watching. She was speaking at a press conference at a constituency office in Penal yesterday, where she also called on central government to declare the Penal Labor Regional a high priority relief area. So why is it it's very easy to blame the regional corporation or the central government? Kamala, you see when, in my opinion, like you drink, It was talk so and then talk so. This whole thing you talking, you're confusing. No, I just reading this paragraph, I'm leaving it alone. So while it is very easy to blame the regional corporation or the central government, both must share the blame, but also residents must share the blame. Those who engage in illegal diversion of water courses, illegal backfilling of land, illegal development by some person and some entities. So everybody has some blame in this game that we want to go down. So let me tell you something, Kamna Pasabi Sessa. Some are Orlean, some are Orlean, who have a proud Indian name, or let's say all they have all the money, or is the contractor, and all they have more money than we, and all the big house more than we. Go and talk to them. Go and talk to them. Because them in your constituency all the time. Why your corporation down there doing something? I go tell all what she corporation down there involved in. Oh, let's listen to back and now. Wait now. Hey. They're watching PNM business. They're watching PNM business all year. We look back and all now. Go back and all. Well, what do you think is what? What do you think? That man, the one who me, he does look like Bayram himself. I'm getting an opinion, eh, people. I just get nickname and thing, right? He looks like he drinks Bayram. "19 hours ago, Guardian, Superior Mayor facing no confidence motion. Superior Mayor Douglas Megru is now facing the threat of a no confidence motion against him following another wave of corruption allegation." Wait. He wasn't down there in front of Parliament before the budget read, and the ball and rolling must go. Oh God! Hey, is that the same man? That wasn't just down there in front of the Parliament. The budget ain't read yet. Them going down there to protest the budget, but it turned out Rolly must go. Megro wasn't there. Now what they doing? Let me read it again. Superior Mayor Douglas Meru is now facing the threat of a no confidence motion against him, following another wave of corruption allegation. Oh God, if Superior wasn't so far, and I go down there with a placard and ball, Mongrel must go. Mogru must go. It comes from Mandesi Councillor Derek Boren, who claimed that Megru made certain allegations in a committee meeting at the Superior Borough Corporation on Wednesday that he believes were directed towards him. On Monday, a special statutory meeting at the corporation descended into chaos after the mayor accused some councillors of bypassing standard procedure to access materials. Speaking with Guardian Media yesterday, Bowen claimed that at the Finance, Planning and Allocation of Resources Committee meeting, the mayor made some allegations pertaining to corruption. While the mayor did not call names, Bowen said some of the allegations concern his electoral district. He said, "At the next meeting of our special planning committee, I stood up and indicated to the council that unless the mayor brings evidence of this allegation, I will bring a motion on no confidence." Bowen told Guardian Media he was giving the mayor until Wednesday to provide proof, otherwise he will file the no confidence motion. He said the mayor mentioned a project that was done during a major flood in Silver Stream in 2017 and questioned the amount of money paid to contractors to do the job. He said the mayor also raised questions about material from San Fernando to Point 14 highway project, which he said was intended for the corporation but went elsewhere. He said the material was given to his district to be used to help those in need. When these items came to Superior, I lodged it at Irwin Park and announced to the council that they can be used as needed. He was also a member of the council present. As a matter of fact, I was told that some of it was used in his district. I should also mention that some of the material was going to be dumped because it got sea blast. So the man saying that Mongrel was using, oh God, wait. Because back then, he was the council, some kind of thing. So for avocat, don't fight about it, where they have the stockpile with Ting missing. When Mirangara contacted him, he said he never mentioned anyone's name in the meeting, and the matter was under police investigation. He challenged Bowen to file a no confidence motion against him. Mongro, though their people. Oh God. What going on in Siparia? Back in Alpha Sweden, we are Hellboy. I just called him that, right? So, Victor Roberts. And that all had to do with he dragging Koffman. Let me tell you, I find he doesn't look like Hellboy. Although watch Hellboy face and watch Victor Roberts. I'm not saying the man is not nice. I am not saying that. I'm just saying, people might find I look all how to under the same kind of thing, He there on the radio, call on the radio, Papa, and like he is the corruption buster in the corporation. He wasn't the corruption buster in the UNC when he did dragging cough with camera all over the place. Where people saying she let her crack the government, she corrupt and all that thing. Nah, but he got in the corporation around Megru and them. Although we waiting to see the back now. We waiting. No, let me tell you something. Corruption at any level is not acceptable. But I'm laughing at the irony. It's the irony of these things I'm laughing at. Only listen to this one, Papa. What it is going on in the UNC? What is going on? Listen to this audio. Oh God, let me raise the volume. Let me see, make sure it's this.
It's Bacchanal Princess Corporation. The UNC councillor sent a masturbating video for UNC MP Gail and then dead in the corporation this morning.
Oh God, you want to play it again? You want to play it again? And here, what's going on in Princess Town Corporation is alleged that somebody take out a picture masturbating and send it to a certain member of parliament in the UNC. But somebody in the UNC. Listen to it again, all oh God,
it's Bacchanal Princess Corporation. The UNC councillor sent a masturbating video for UNC MP Gail and then dead in the corporation this morning.
So wait now. Is man sending picture to little boys and the boy mother had to complain? I think it was a counselor too. What going on with these counselors? It was a man sending to a little boy, must be piggy outside and all kind of thing, whatever. Now we hear a counselor from Princess Town. It's not about Barry Paradise from Barry, what's going on in the area? Oh God, masturbating, it is alleged to a UNC MP. A little birdie whispered to me, what is going on in UNC, Kamala? Well, I want to study PNN? Okay. It coming wrong, no? It has come wrong to roost. The chicken has come wrong to roost. So let me jump on the union here quick. I see Annie set on them marching and whatever. Like the right to march and protest and like the union must do one thing. But I asked that question. Is allegation not I'm gonna say these things are alleged. Here it is alleged that the Register Trade Union would have given a directive to SWWTU. It is alleged he sent a caretaker team to SWWTU to work along with the General Secretary of SWWTU to get the finances in order, because it is alleged SWWTU ain't filed their finances for years and years and years. I understand it is alleged when the team that the Registered Trade Union, which is his duty to do, he by law could do them thing, to go to SWWTU to fix to do the accounting for the books, along with the General Secretary who people vote for. Here it is alleged they join with a certain man. It is alleged the one who won sexual criminal charge in America. It is alleged they join with T, and next thing they suspend the General Secretary and them doing their own thing. It is alleged that the trade union registrar say All they didn't do the mandate I give all by law. Watch me. All they watch out. Something is going to happen at SWWTU. It is alleged. And it may involve decertification. All they put it together. Bacchanal in the place. So I'm asking, why is the media not asking the man who is leading the protest for SWWTU, why they're not asking him these matters? Because it was asked everybody. We would have seen on a TV report, they put up the man whole face and name. They say it's Michael Anisette. Them who put it up in the newspapers, they just have union leader, but on a report, they call the whole man name. Let me read the thing. It was in the papers, and it says here, but the union are asking nothing. The media not asking nothing about that. So I ain't seen the report. I'm going to read the charge sheet. Let me read the charge sheet. And I want to know why the media not asking about this. So this was case detail summary. Look at here, people. Case information, court, Queens Criminal Court, case number CR-027653-24QN, defendant Anisette Michael. Name Anisette Michael, date of birth 1953. Incident and arrest, date August the 9th, 2024. The CITN number, they have a number here, 708-19625N. Arrest date, August 11, 2024. They have the arrest number, Q246366906. The officer who arrested him, NYCPD PCT 103. Defense attorney, Chadori Shazaz, Shanzaz or Zaz. Type legal aid. So like he couldn't hire a lawyer, he get a legal aid. That will be the address of the lawyer. Okay, let me continue. Okay. Charge PL130.55 detail, BM.1 count, arrest charge, description, sexual abuse, 3rd degree must be 1 count. Top charge, 1 count arrest charge, description, forcibly touching intimate parts. So like he went and touched the nookie. That is what he thinks. I didn't see so. All up in Americas. Count, 2 counts. So he on 2 counts are forcibly touching intimate parts. And 1 count of sexual abuse. Oh yeah, I make up these things, you know. People, how come the media is not asking Mr. Michael Anisette? Because they interview him, I think that interviewer asked him about it and he said something about some setup or some bacchanal. So how they not asking him the status? Because I know he had to be flying out there to answer case. You know, he win the case or nothing. He had to answer what's going on. But he leading a union. But you know what? I shouldn't be surprised. Because Watson Solomon Juke was on rape charge, 1 count of rape, 4 counts of sexual assault in 2016. And became the president of NATUC with Anisette and them, while Anisette and them was marching to remove Dr. Ralph Balgobin from allegation of sexual harassment. They say he should leave. And Anisette makes such a plea because I think Dr. Balgobin was teaching at a lockjack school ever, and he told, but he has daughters. And imagine his daughters, and this man teaching his daughters. It will be so unsafe. And there was allegations of sexual harassment. Now we have what I say, charge for sexual abuse and intimately touching intimate parts. So people shouldn't be scared being around you, Mr. Anisette. I'm just asking a question. People shouldn't be scared around you. But the point I was making is while they were protesting for Dr. Govind to go, Duke, who was arrested, charged, spent 4 days in remand, he had on $250,000 bail. They make him president and not took. So it's all right. And I told you all, I read a research paper that showed. It says 1 in every 3 women in the union movement has been abused, have faced abuse. So like it's normal. I hear it as some of them just beat the woman bad. I ain't calling no name. I just hear that some just beat the woman bad. So like beating woman, abusing woman. I'm just asking. Sexual inappropriate thing with woman, forcibly woman, forcing herself on woman, is that a normal thing in the trade union movement? I'm just asking. But you know, the media will ask Anisette about those things. They're more concerned about the marching to shut down the port and postal workers marching around. You know, I want to ask, let me take 2 minutes to ask quickly. And this is a person who has experience in labor. Let me say that one time. So anytime they want to say, I have experience in labor, I have qualification in labor, and I have experience in labor. The conversation always is, the government wasn't meeting with the unions and them to negotiate. As the government, we have so much years pass and nothing settled. I want to tell people who listen and for the 99 time, while the Act states that the Minister of Finance can initiate the negotiation process by telling the CPU, because he can't tell me that, he tell the CPU, start the process. And the CPU inform the unions and all them kind of thing. That is true. But the unions too, according to the Act, they could initiate and say, hey CPU, we're ready with everything. We want a date. They could do it too. It's in the Act. And if all they're saying the CPU was failing to meet with all when all was ready for the purpose of meeting and treating to have a collective agreement and negotiation start. Why all they didn't take it to court? Because it is in law. Why all they didn't take it to court to get judicial review? The same way the liberties take section 22(1), which has nothing to do with the 4%, but increasing 4% or nothing. He take section 22(1) for interpretation. Because like when he read it, he didn't understand it. For interpretation, so you get judicial review for the judge and them to read and say, this is what 22(1) means. Why the has are saying, why the has? Earlier when all the CPO was failing to meet with all for the period 2014, 15, 16, or 17, 18, 19. Why the has? All then file in the court an industrial relation offense against the CPO via the Minister of Finance for failing to meet and treat with the union for the purpose of negotiation. And don't tell me it has never been done, because cases are built on precedents. Plenty things that never went to court, you just have to test the system. All they didn't do that, all they sit comfortable in all their space, and they do nothing and waiting. But you don't know, the Minister of Finance say 5% and tell the CPO to start, all have a problem. So they say it or they have a problem, they say it or they have a problem. And always set the cap. How the ass he could set the cap? He could say 5%. But it's a negotiation. You could go and negotiate for more. And if you have the evidence to back it up and you have the data and everything, you will get more. But he can afford to say 5%. But if you want to go and sit down there like a dummy like Duke and Liberty, so to go and sit down in front the former CPU with nothing to say but talking as better shit, but living wage. We negotiate based on the retail price methodology, index methodology price. Retail price index methodology. That's what we negotiate with. If all want that to change, let the public service have a comprehensive job evaluation, put everything in thing, and then decide we want to negotiate this way. In the absence of that, that is what we have. So when Drew come in to sit down to talk to the CPO, And only to come living wage. She don't have no document but no living wage, so she will listen to you. Where was she to get? And that was joke was when he and the but he's that cat head red gutty stinking man. That when I was doing and fooling people and say, I used to go to negotiations, so I know. I used to go negotiation under Mr. John Properties Primer, so I know what I'm talking about. I used to go under joke. And they come in and laughing and give me something I have to turn around and tell the members, the other comrades, and them who say, no, what are laughing at? This is a joke, this is a serious thing. I say, you don't come late already. Look how we dress. Hat twist on the head, all kind of thing, and talking, and all they laughing, give my ass. What laughing about? The CPO come and say, oh, she whole team. We go and sit down, maybe the gas seat early and thing. We sit down waiting. All our after joke now strolling in. It's a big give everybody. I think I'm knocking table. And what kind of shit they're doing? Enabling joking is shit. It's some of them how we saw, some of them from General Council and the PSA how we saw. And where we is right now, but let me go back to what I was saying. So how come it is the media not asking Anisette about his charges, his sexual criminal charges in America? But they're all up in it because it's to show up the government. It's about the government. In my opinion, again, it's the government. Roger done retire. He get him big money from, because he was some senior officer in Petrogen. He had no bargaining unit. He's still leading union. That fellow who does move it, you have Roger be little in you, boy. I have to call you boy because you have the experience and like a frightened to step out of. You still let Roger lead you. I think we name is Ozzy Merrick. You have experience, boy. You let him a man who walking away, retiree, lead all it. And you there only following in that. Or they get weak, boy. The last good leader it had for OWT was George Weeks. OWT you get soft. So all OWT you know marching up and OWT. When we watch OWT a long time, we said, what man, I used to be in amazement, boy, these men and them in the black shoes and they coming down, all of them coming town, they see them moving and all that thing they want to do. No, OWT you get weak because they have a weak leader. So if all they think I did lie about the thing as trade union leader facing sex charges in the US. A prominent Trinidad and Tobago trade union leader has been charged with 2 sexual offenses in the United States. The union leader faces charges of forcibly touching intimate parts and second-degree harassment through physical contact, according to the Deputy Commissioner of Public Information Department of the New York Police. The man is alleged to have entered the bathroom of a 59-year-old woman while she was topless, grabbing her left breast and her vagina areas without consent and exposing his penis to her. I ain't reading no more. What's wrong with these men and them? Oh God, oh. All the good, yes. People, let me play this. So a police officer was charged. This was Monday, the 4th of November, 2024. In the news there, police from the newly formed anti-extortion unit have charged a man from Shogunas with 22 offenses, including 9 counts of demanding money, a total of $153,000 by menace. A police statement on November the 4th said, Varendranath Maharaj, 37, was expected to face a master in the High Court. Maharaj was also charged with 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of common assault, having a gun and ammunition with intent to endanger lives, and 7 counts of robbery amounting to $73,000. A male victim reported to the police that a man demanded several sums of money from him at different times between January and October. It is alleged that on one occasion, the accused kidnapped him at gunpoint. A report was made to the police, and ACP Richard Smith coordinated an investigation led by Sergeant Bacchus and Corporal Phillip, both of the anti-extortion unit. On October the 29th, the police arrested Maharaj And on November the 3rd, Corporal Bash laid the charges. Let me read the name again. Anti-extortion unit charges Shobona's man with 22 offenses. And the man's name is Varen Ranat Maraj, 27. So the unit working. I thought it was African people, urban youth, doing the crime. When the Daros Figaro, the criminologist, okay, I don't talk, may I go in there? Hey! So let me continue, people till it's Friday. Let me just play. CNC Business Watch. Let's see what's happening in CNC Business Watch. Because there's nothing happening in this country.
Trinidad and Tobago NGL Limited has reported an after-tax profit of $82.8 million for the 9-month period ended the 30th of September 2024. This represents a 153.2% increase in profit after tax over the $32.7 million profit after tax for the same period in 2023. Chairman Dr. Joseph Ishmael Khan says this improvement is primarily driven by the enhanced profitability of DTNGL's investment in the Phoenix Park Gas Processors Limited. He explains gas volumes directed to Point Lisas for processing increased slightly over 2023. He also notes natural gas liquids production rose considerably as a result of optimized gas supply mix from the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited. Khan, however, addressed the continued disappointment expressed by shareholders that dividends are not being paid out in US dollars. He says, "We acknowledge that many of our shareholders are understandably eager for a resolution to the current dividend restriction and the anticipated timeline for implementing a viable solution. The board and management remain deeply committed to addressing this issue as a priority." In TTNGL's 2016 annual meeting, shareholders of the company voted in favor of receiving their dividends in either TT or US dollars. The BIDCO has unveiled a new tenant at the Labre Industrial Estate, Novo Farms. Novo Farms, a division of Novo International, is an agro-processing and food manufacturing company which plans to construct a food terminal with storage and primary processing facility on the estate, designed to support the agricultural sector. In a post on social media on Wednesday, LaBitco says this partnership underscores its commitment to diversifying the estate and supporting the growth of the Trinidad and Tobago manufacturing sector. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices.
So people, the country falling apart, they are nothing. All companies making money. While I'm talking gloom and doom, business happening in Phoenix Park, making money. What the hell going on? Everybody making money. If Kamala Pasabi says and them was in office, they would have spent it all because that's what they do in 2010. They went NGC and had happiness. Oh, that is why only penis sing with them people, penis, that who making masturbating tape and sending to all the piggy, who taking picture with the piggy outside and sending to little children. What went on in UNC? What went on in UNC? I tell you only again. All here, get all the information. And then turn around with that information and say, me ain't going and vote. All of them is the same. I don't like Rowley. It's too rough. Yes, I'm talking about that. So, President of Guyana would have called public officers and contractors and things to a meeting and properly buff the people. I'm going to tell you something. With all due respect to the president, I think he didn't call me that hour in the morning and call me and buff me up on no TV and nothing. Me and a child. It have mechanisms in place to treat with that. You ain't calling me in no public space and buff me up and all kinds of in front of people. Me and your child. Yeah? And some people in Trinidad say, oh my God, that is so good. Why do they do that in Trinidad and check on Trinidad? Let me tell you something. You could see Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley sending out a message for public officers and contractors to come to a meeting 5 o'clock in the morning. First of all, a public officer turn around and say, he mad or? He feel like he child or? Me don't work for you. You're not my supervisor. And worse yet, they said they decide to go in and he start to ball them up. All who will be talking them foolishness, they'll just be talking out of ignorance. Because first of all, no president is supposed to be doing that. There must be a mechanism in place in a country to treat with public officers who are not working or contractors who ain't finished the job on time. Then we just want to say, oh, why not like Singapore? Do you all understand Singapore is not a democracy? You think the prime minister there, wherever he is there, he get Singapore to be where it is by being nice and say, let's do it, and all they listen to him. And when all they do it, all they call human rights lawyer, and all they call this lawyer, and every day all they protesting, and every day. You think it's so Singapore comes on? You know what people's rights must get infringed? To bring a country to how Singapore is, you have to be a dictator. So that when you talk, nobody say nothing, they frighten as hell. That's what they want in Trinidad. Or they have it nice. So when all they talk about Dr. Oli is a dictator, all I know they're talking shit. Today is Friday. All they talking a pack of spit. Because all they love the freedom all they have in this country. Or they can walk and protest anytime, drop tools, protest. Get on, cuss Dr. Oli, put up memes with the head and shit. That was I say the word, because that's all they do. Put up picture of the wife, say that the wife this, say a policeman, this one is a man from a policeman from India, talk all kind of thing on social media, cause it, and nothing happens. All they love it, all they really want. A dictator. When Mr. Manning went into the radio station, them young people at the radio station, because I think 2 DJ whoever was giving misinformation. Oh God, the country get on. Or they're talking about we want somebody like President finally they to back up them public officers. No. Public officers have managers, they have supervisors. And every public officer under them doing shit is because the manager and supervisors not doing the work. Because some of them used to do the same blasted thing when they're junior officer. So now they come in charge, junior officers, and I'm telling them, you used to do the same thing, you can't come to tell me nothing. Then they tell all they lie. Or because they ain't experience for the work, they just have qualification, they ain't know the work at all. They have friends in service commission. It's a one right now in our ministry working. She's the head of HR. She ain't know she foot from she elbow. She was in service commission and they said she come down, she feels she knows everything. But God, and them soldiers go to church every Sunday, Bible in the hand, and they wicked. Is that people under she know the work better than she? They always know and treat workers like there's nothing because workers in lower range than them. Because some of them don't know the work. They don't understand the work and they don't want nobody tell them nothing. So who you blame when a junior officer, you're going to pay a bill wherever a junior officer sitting down and thinking she nails or put up a sign on lunch now or eating lunch thing? Who you blaming for that, the worker? No, I don't blame them workers. I don't blame them junior workers at all. Once they have a supervisor and a manager, they're supposed to treat and deal with that. And if the worker could do it, and they could get away with it, they will keep doing it because human beings at the end. I don't blame the cashier. Because if you cash in and you're going to lunch, the manager is supposed to put something in place there. You can't say, put up a sign, close from 12 to 1. Who going to lunch? No, lunch hours between 11, 12, 12 and 1. So have 2 shifts. Get somebody to work this shift when one is the checker going to, so one going for lunch for an hour, the other one for lead. And when they come back, they're going back to thing. That's how it is. Not to put a sign, they're going for lunch. and you travel from wherever you travel, come hustling to thing when you come, you have to wait a whole hour after. Who you gonna blame for that? The ordinary public officer? No, I say blame the senior workers, the managers and the supervisors, because them that do the staff report for the workers. Why they're not taken up on that? But let me leave that there. I all for union. I all for workers' rights. I all for union and union rights, but do the right thing sometime too. And some of them managers and supervisors not doing the right thing, and they're blaming the ordinary worker. That the ordinary worker, let us see, you know. The manager and them all in the office saying down all this, what sometimes all they come and a worker face swell up and all kind of thing. Or they don't know the pressure that worker under from management. Or they sometimes doesn't know the abuse, verbal abuse they under. So when people come to them done in a good damn mood already because they have their own problem home, they have problem at work, and then a customer, well, you know, as I say, customer come into the ministry and sometimes behave in a particular way. But oh God, it's not everybody had that kind of resistance and training in that. So who does feel it? It does pass on to all when all they come for service, unfortunately. But sometimes don't blame the worker. When they see them, so ask who is the manager, ask who the supervisor, let the supervisor come and talk and say something. Because that worker has to report to somebody. People, let's talk straight, you know. Let's talk straight. All who know me, who does help with labor issues, whoever they just tell it, Frederick will tell you straight. You can't help them by telling you straight. If you're wrong, you're wrong. The wrong can't be right. But the law say there are issues in it. If you come into work late every day, and management is telling you nothing, yes, you're not supposed to come to work early. But management is saying nothing, and every day you come into work late still, you go do it because you might have things to do, say right, thing. And after about a year, because some scene happen, and the manager get vexed because that day they're looking for you and some back and whatever, and just to write you up. Excuse me. Just to write you up. That's not how it works. Because I could simply say, I thought it was okay to reach the work 9 o'clock. And they would say, well, you know the job is says here 8:15, the latest phone. Yeah. But a whole year and you ain't tell me nothing, so I say it's okay. They don't pull up the workers, and the workers are accustomed to doing it, and everything does go well. But when it comes to do the staff report, now they want to jump with a worker and get them bad report and talk about things that happened since the beginning of the year. That's wrong. Do a 3 months evaluation. Every 3 months, do evaluation so a worker will know where they're going wrong, if they can improve it or whatever. So at the end of the year, you bring back them 3 reports and you use that as a guide to finish it now. So a worker can say, well, I didn't know, you didn't tell me. It could be that a worker moved from living close to work and going real far now and catching the tail to get to work. You never asked, you never say nothing, you never had them. I'm saying, listen, I've observed for the last 3 days, they're coming late, you come early. As well, you know, I'm living now quite guagari and I'm coming to town because of that. Well, how long do you think it will take you to get things organized? Well, I will try my best. And that's how you work with workers. And if you say they're working thing, whatever, that's sometimes that workers, you want reaching 6 o'clock in the morning. You tell me, can I internal arrangement that worker start to work from 6 o'clock in the morning? So by 2 o'clock, they make the 8 hours because a permanent secretary could change your hours at work. Don't make them tell all they can't do it. They have a lot of power now. A permanent secretary could look at a situation where a worker living real founders reach to work 6 o'clock every day. And instead of that worker sitting down till 8 o'clock in the morning, by the time 8 o'clock reach, that worker hungry, they're sleepy because they travel from since 3 o'clock in the morning, they're traveling. Let the worker work from 6 to 2 and get out there because I have to go back down to living. Those who live in closer to the work, you could come at 9 o'clock, it's a 9 to 5 shift and things. So you tell me no permanent secretary could sit with nobody and see these things are possible. So come now, man, it are plenty things you could do. So people are saying again, you are supposed to be advised of all. Of course you are. And of course, legacy and giving time, they don't do it. 16 billion taken by NG. You understand? They ain't talking about that. But $2.6 billion as an error, a discrepancy, an understatement. Jayawanti Ramdas refused to put it in the report. But she workers, the public officers, it to do up. They verify it, everything, and get she back. She carried the payment, but she didn't lay that one. All they think about it now. Public officers, this woman, like she want to throw all under the bus. She's appointed by the constitution. All ain't appointed by no constitution. All this public officers, you know. So people, let me see, all who here, I live in it there, all have all the information, all have everything that all they need. What all they don't know, they can ask a question. And if all they still choose, when next year come, because PNM get all the vexed, your minister get you vexed. Rowley talks hard to somebody, come and smile at me and say, oh, gas price raised twice and we in riot. And we still heavily subsidize and the cheapest gas in some areas still. With all that weight raised, the government still subsidizing, we ain't paying the full amount. So we want to pay nothing to develop this country. Eat, drink, free, nothing. And just because he make minister come and would have a weird sense of humor with the people weird. It has some people just weird. And there are still things that just find out a timing. But that is some reason to say, I don't like the PNM because he said, what about the work the man doing? What about the work Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley doing? Because he just talk hard, he just smile, and he just talk hard. I hear Ralph man talking about it, tell somebody, kiss your ass. If me and you having a conversation on WhatsApp and you tell me some other time and shit, and I write back and tell you, kiss my ass, you make it public. What does that have to do with me? But is a prime minister that said that. So I don't talk. I a prime minister, I don't cuss. Me ain't cuss nobody in public. Me and you having a conversation, me expect you at your level to put that as a public matter. Just all go to make you go in the toilet and use toilet paper. It's only ice cream that's come out. So if all you want to sit down next year, God's pay to talk about, I don't like Rowley talk. I don't like how comment, but he did talk about Zami. And I don't like how Shamfa Kojo just talk, Lewis just talk. And I don't like Camille Robinson Regis. I don't like how she had us look. And I don't like Renuka, Senator Renuka. I find she feels she's everything. And the UNC supporters, them in business. Whether Kamala thief, them in business whether Kamala Zami, they in business whether Kamala fall long drunk and singing. They don't business if she has 7 toes, 8 toes, they don't care. They don't business if David Lee and $1 million bill. They don't business if Annie Robert was involved in the life sport matter and he does talk and drunk and all over. They don't business with Naked say. They don't business with Michelle Benjamin talk about putting between your legs. They don't business with Khadija Amin and Man and who. They don't business. Them going and vote the UNC. And the suffering, they don't say nothing, but everybody going on because that's about the Indian woman. Hear what I say? I live in communities of them, so I could tell you, not all Indians, so I keep telling all of that, we can't let that black nigger man rule me. Let us tell all I say a lie. In China, say it for himself. He said, when you wrong, then we kind of think out of the school African people, so, me, what's that? But I live among them and I know that's what they just talk. That's what I'm saying. We have to vote for she nice, eh? I hear to have a certain auditor general, when she see Kamala, she nice, eh? She nice, and when they see Dr. Rowley, I don't like her. Me call nobody name, eh? It had plenty of auditor generals. And I say Dr. Rowley. I didn't say whether it's Prime Minister Rowley or not. I said, Dr. Rowley, and he in Parliament, yes. So it could be any time I talk about. So they don't go and say, I say nothing. All I get tired. Them don't care. Them voting the UNC any day, anytime, anywhere. Well, all I say, no, I'm balling. I don't like he, I don't like she. So people are not able to see who here. I don't know what happened. Oh, shucks. Joel Bryan, Claire Alicia, Monica Andrew, Nadia, Alice, Brian, Gerald, Kathleen, Carl, Anne-Marie, Jenny, Hollister, Judy, Maria, Christopher, Cheryl, Kenneth, Philomene, Hazel, Shirley, Patsy, Jennifer, Gloria, Sandra, Donna, Alex, Hadara, Marie, Anton, Charles, Kelvin. Keto, you here, darling? How that looking like the Wall Street imps now? I've got one thing I'm gonna do, Keto, is put you in that man's face. Ugh. Keto, you behave yourself today. Sarah, Ingrid, Robert. Thank you all for staying tuned in today's Saturday. Today's Friday. People have a blessed weekend. Do stay safe. Do stay safe. You know, I tell you they're coming with the music today. We in business. You must start over. If them had nice shoes like the PLM, so they would have been killing them, but them shoes are not. When they don't have shoes, PLM have only have shoes here again. Protect your future. Not going back to UNC. Not going back to Kamla. On track, we're not going back. 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 Yeah, they're coming. Yeah, they're coming. Alright. Don't be like that people in America, you know. So now what I should have. Hey. You're not going back. Election day. Vote them on election day. What do we say with it? Oh, let's go to the room. And we saw we ain't no copyright. But I want to be making stronger. Election day, protect your future. What is election day? What is the answer? On track, we're not going back. On track, we're not going back. On track, we're not turning back. On track, we're not turning back. Who is PLM on election day? Who is PLM on election day? Our nation is running good. We are talking about the road. We go get the next one. You are not seeing it all. You have to make a new thing. Election day, protect your future. Election day, what is the answer? On track. Listen to this one. Oh, brother! Hey, hey! Hey, hey! Sleeping time. Sleeping time. Oh, sleeping time. I was in the operating and somebody told me. Somebody told me that I'm today. It was the big of them. And in this crowd was singing loud, but it's in the convention. When we walk in this pianting, oh Lord, your procession. In the hand was a man, we start to jam. In them, bam, bam, bam. Oh yeah. Somebody say, but the lucky man, we have a touch of everything there. Hallelujah. We ain't making no mistake. Hallelujah. Whatever the time get them on take. Hallelujah. When I say forgive, you know what I mean. Hallelujah. Get all your true mistakes. Hallelujah. We can't say let's select him. Bring us to fear. I see the time. People enjoy your weekend. See all that money go to when I come with something, say something new. This nigga just said if you want to get going, another day. Let me go every day, yeah? Sweeping time. What the agenda? What the assignment 2025? People's national movement. Look at us, love you all, I'm going, okay, boom. Hey, I'm hallelujah. Mistake. We make a mistake. So when I'm a position, they don't take. Hold on. When I say forgive, you know what I mean. Hallelujah. Bring all your proof to see. Let us one victory, yes, I love. We can't fail. Let us see our name. I love all that, Lord. Sweeping time.